Hey, what's up guys, it's Disturbed. Today I'm going to be showing you guys what I believe to be the very best PvP build for flat out damage in patch 1.6. It also has a lot of versatility and is pretty much just absolutely amazing all around. Now, as you can see in the gameplay, this build absolutely shreds people while also having a decent amount of survivability as well, and like I said, overall versatility, which pretty much just makes it an absolutely insane build to use, and it's a ton of fun. Now, before I get into it, I just want to say real quick that I am still offering farming services and build services and a couple other things, so if you're super busy with work and school and whatnot, or maybe you just want someone to help you out with your build, or you have some questions, feel free to email me at disturbedmods@gmail.com, and I would love to help you out with that. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, there is also gameplay at the very end if you want to look at that, but let's get right into the build. So this is an all high-end build. Now, to preface it, I want to say that it's very, very far from min-max, and the reason for this is because everything gets scaled up in Last Stand, and I'm not really worried about playing in the Dark Zone right now, so I didn't worry about perfectly min-maxing my gear. Everything is set up to where it will scale perfectly in Last Stand, actually, so it is min-maxed rather nicely. It's just that it's not perfect. If I were to like go and use it in the Dark Zone, my stats are pretty low. Like, I don't even have the talents on my guns, but when I get into Last Stand, for example, let's say I have this amount of armor on, like, my armor gets maxed to 35%, and then all the firearms, like the firearms mods that I have, sorry, it's gonna get rolled up to max and everything like that, and same with health rolls and all that other stuff. So I'm not really paying attention to individual rolls and just the minuscule rolls that are on it and all that kind of stuff. I'm just worried about the actual stats on my gear and making sure that it's set up perfectly. So I just wanted to preface the build by saying that. But yeah, this is a high-end build, and there's a lot of information that I'm going to go over, so I highly recommend that you do watch the entire video, because there's pretty much just an insane amount of stuff that I have to go over. So hopefully it's not an information overload for you guys, but trust me, it is worth it, because it's better to know all this stuff rather than to just use a build blindly and just follow and then not really know why it's better than something. It's better to have a deep understanding. So I'm going to start off with the build, the actual pieces that I have, because this is probably the most important, and then I'll get into weapons afterwards, because weapons are, I don't want to say controversial, but there's a lot of different opinions on weapons as of right now, and I want to clear all that up for you guys so that you know what's actually the best, as opposed to listening to what these other people have to say and them embellishing data and stuff and trying to tell you that other guns are good when they really aren't. So yeah, I'm done with that spiel. Let's get into the actual build. So it's an all high-end build. The reason that I'm doing this is because Alpha Bridge got nerfed, of course, and I'm sure you all know that. And with that happening, since it's a DPS build, of course, you're trying to get as much damage potential as possible. So the best way to do that is by using Skull MC gloves, which gives you a 16% flat damage. If Skull MC gloves weren't in the game, I probably wouldn't be using this build. I might be using something like Sentry, possibly, or maybe Strike or something. I'd be using something completely different. But since Skull MC gloves are here and it's flat 16% damage, this is pretty much just going to overrule everything else in terms of flat damage. But it's on only one piece of gear. The thing about the high-end build is it's not just, oh, you get only this bonus and then 2 other high-end. So you get a bunch of stuff that, like I said before, it gives a lot of versatility. You get a lot of survivability for having Nimble on your holster, which is what I'm going to be using for the holster, because with Nimble, you can go cover to cover and pair that with Tack Advance, which I'll get into later. You get a ton of health and just overall survivability when playing, so you don't have to waste heals, and then in the middle of a fight, if you're out of medkits or something, which you can see in my gameplay later, it's extremely helpful to have Nimble. So, I mean, Nimble's great. And then Refresh, you can either decide to use Refresh or Tenacious. Tenacious for more damage, or Refresh for more healing. Refresh is awesome because you get more health in the last segment. Not sure if it pairs with Nimble, but it works great with medkits and immune station to get the overheal and first aid. It's awesome, but you can pick and choose with this build. You can go for Refresh for more survivability, or you can go for Tenacious. And then for the chest piece, you can decide to go for Bear Chest, which gives you, it's not the greatest, but it gives you extra skill power, which is nice initially, but then you also get the extra 5% damage when you use one skill, which isn't that bad, and then you get the 10% extra armor. 10% extra armor, this is really good in 1.5, but it's not the greatest anymore, and that's just because your armor is going to be way lower, and the way that it scales is based on it's 10% of your current armor, so it's multiplicative. So in Last Stand you have 35% armor, and you're getting virtually about a 4%, roughly, because I think it rounds, you get about a 4% extra armor increase, which sounds minuscule, and it is, but it's still a bonus that you otherwise wouldn't be getting, which is awesome. But you can also use Rapid Chest, which I was using in the PTS before, which is awesome. Rapid Chest, it just decreases the cooldown on your heal by 15%, and then if you stack skill haste and stuff, you get your heal back super quick. But I have a Barrett Chest, and I don't have a Rapid Chest in my inventory, and I like to have the extra 5% damage because it's up a pretty good amount of the time. And then the 10% armor isn't that bad of a bonus either. But then you also get short bow Kneepads, which is just it's priceless. You can't compare it to anything else because of how amazing it is. You just get to instant nade people, which with a frag nade you're doing 80k damage instantaneously, and I mean there's pretty much no skill when it comes to using these. It's just a free nade to hit somebody, and I mean if you use a shock nade, that's a free kill literally. And with frag nades, if you give someone that health, I mean you pretty much just won the fight. So short bow knee pads, absolutely insane and very vital to this build because there isn't any other high-end knee pads that are worth running in a PvP scenario. And short bow, like I said, it's priceless. You cannot compare it to anything else. Just being able to instantly nade people is crazy. And then specialized, it's overlooked, but specialized is great. You get a bunch of extra skill power, which really feeds into your heal. So that's why I'm running all high-end build. It's just, again, for the overall versatility of the build and just how it actually ends up playing out. You get the extra 5% damage from bear chest if you want to. You get a, you know, in comparative amount of damage from short bow. You can't really like put a percentage on it, but it ends up being a lot of perspective damage overall because you get to throw those nades instantly. You get the Skull and Sea Gloves, which is 16% damage, and it's flat damage. It's not just the targets out of cover or just with one gun. It's just flat damage. You get Nimble, which is survivability. You get Refresh, which is survivability, or you can decide to use Tenacious, which is more damage. Then you get Specialized, which is more skill power, which is in essence more survivability because then your heals are going to be better. It's just overall an amazing build, and I definitely would say that this is better than everything else, and I can explain that later in later videos because I don't want to drag this on more than it needs to be. But just trust me when I say this build is way better than anything else. Sentry is pretty good, Striker is okay, but this build definitely takes the cake because you always have this stuff available to you, and I'd much rather use this than have like 4-piece Striker and then have to pick between Nimble and Barrett and shortbow and something. And just because I know a lot of you might ask this, you cannot use Skull and Sea Gloves when you're using Striker or something. Otherwise I'd probably be using like 4 Sentry, Skull and Sea Gloves, and something else. That's why you have to use all hands, but the build is still amazing and gonna be better than almost everything else. So that's what I'm using for the build. In terms of firearms and toughness, I haven't played around with it too much, so I think it is kind of up to personal interpretation and how you like to have it set up. But stamina, the way that it scales, has been nerfed significantly. It used to give you 30 health per stam, but now it's actually 15, which is significantly decreased from what it used to be. So stacking into firearms is going to be way more important now, especially with the guns that I'm using, which I'll get into. So that's why I have way more firearms, and also since everybody's just ADSing each other, it's really important just to kill your target as fast as possible. So getting more firearms, feeding more into that is going to be really beneficial to your build. So I like to get around 5k stamina just so I'm not a complete glass cannon, and then with this much firearms it seems to work out really good. But my firearms and my stamina rolls are extremely low right now, and the reason for that is simply just because my pieces aren't min-maxed. But I don't really care about that because when I get into a game of Last Stand, for example, my low 1100 firearms mods or roll here is going to get beefed up to 1265, which is max, so I'm not even worried about that at all. Now, getting into weapons, there's actually a pretty good amount of options here. I was initially using the LVOAC, which is really good. It's still amazing. By the way, I just want to touch on SMGs real quick. I know a lot of people think SMGs are great, and they are pretty good considering the fact that they got the crit chance buff, but they are still not better than LVOACs and the Pecan here, for example, or an MG5. I tested the math on this. If you don't want to believe me, that's fine. I know that you can do really good with the MP7 or an MP5 or something, and I'm not going to argue with that. You can do really good, but you will do better with an LVOAC. But if you're on console or something, an LVOAC is going to be really hard to use, and you're going to be wanting to land all headshots with this. But what I recently discovered is the Pecan, and the reason that this is really good is because it has a higher firearm scaling than a normal RPK does. As you can see, this is at 21k base damage, but this is at 22.9, almost 23k, which is really high. And then if the fact that enemy armor damage doesn't scale as well, in comparison, the Pecan is going to be better, or not better, but it's going to be better than it used to be because enemy armor damage doesn't scale nicely, therefore that's like an inadvertent nerf to LVOAC. So then in comparison, a Pecan is significantly better, I guess. It's not better than the LVOAC. I'd have to run the numbers, and it's really subjective to your build, but the Pecan is much better than it used to be, which is awesome. And the third talent on it isn't that great, but the fact that with LMGs you get this extremely high amount of base damage, you get the damage to targets out of cover, which is awesome and just immeasurable, and you also get the bigger mag size. RPM is kind of low, but if you're on console, that allows you to land headshots more consistently. And with LMGs, get this, you get an insane headshot damage multiplier, 148%. You get a base of 100%, while with SMGs you get 50%, and assault rifles you get 75%. So that's why I'm using the Bug On. The worst part about it though is that you get this third talent, which I mean it's okay. It's not great. It's nice to have, but I'd much rather have something like responsive or something. But I mean, you'll see in the gameplay, I'm still shredding people with this. It's up to you if you want an SMG or something. I'm just letting you know the best guns are LVOAC, Bug On. G36 is great if you're on console too because it has a low amount of recoil and it's easily sustained the recoil. RPKs are okay, but Bug Ons are going to be way better than RPK because of the firearm scaling. I mean, look at that 24.4K, it's crazy. And then the Urban MDR is also really good, and believe it or not, an MG5 is actually really good right now. So pick and choose your poison, it's up to you really, but just to give you a list of the best in order, LVOAC, Bug On, those are probably about equal, possibly the Bug On being higher. Again, it's kind of subjective to your build. And then under that, I would put MG5, G36 under the MG5, and then I'd put probably RPK, SASG12 is really good, Urban MDR is somewhere in between the LVOAC and Bug On, it depends on your aim really, and then I'd put MP7 below all of those, and then MP5, and then AUG. But that's just my list. You don't have to take my word for it, but if you believe me, then, or if you want to believe me, I think it'll work to your benefit. But in terms of weapon talents, you want to be avoiding destructive now because enemy armor damage works horribly. You don't want to stack enemy armor damage anywhere anymore because it scales based on how much armor you have, and since armor has been nerfed significantly, to give you an example, 5% enemy armor damage turns into roughly less than 1% actual damage in PvP. So you can do the math there. It's about 0.8% damage with 5.5% enemy armor damage. That's how much it actually turns into. So with 20%, I mean, you can do the math. It's not more than 4% damage with 20% enemy armor damage. So going for destructive is pointless. So my best talents I would recommend to you are Unforgiving, Brutal, and Responsive. But if you're on console and headshots are a little bit hard for you to come by, I'd say you can go for Competent, which is really nice. But if you're using an LMG, you can't use Responsive. So I'd definitely go for Unforgiving and Brutal then. And you want to be prioritizing headshots as much as possible, which is why I'm going to be running on my mods all headshot damage, because you're not getting a lot of crits. Crits are very few and far in between, by the way. Isn't this camo so sexy, man? Oh, it's gorgeous. But yeah, this is one of the new camos I bought, you know, wasting money. But yeah, the mods, you want to be going for headshot damage, because going for crit damage, it's not going to turn into nearly as much damage, and you're hitting headshots very frequently. Even if you're on console, really try to get into the habit of hitting headshots, because people are standing still. They're not hip firing anymore. They're standing still. So it's all about trading and landing as many headshots as humanly possible. And you'll see that in the gameplay. I'm landing almost all headshots, and my damage is coming from the fact that I'm stacking all headshot damage. With an LMG, I'm getting way more headshot damage than I would with any other gun. And that's one of the reasons that it's really good. Up to 25% headshot damage is insane, when opposed to you could be running crit damage. That's another reason why SMGs aren't that good. You have to run crit damage mods on your weapons, and that isn't that great, because at the very max you're getting 60% crit chance, and then so 18% damage, divide that by 60%, that's what, about 9, or that's about 10% damage, when if you're landing all headshots and it's 16% there, it's much better, and you're not at 60% crit chance almost ever. So I mean, that's just a theoretical for you. So going for headshot damage is way better. And then on the grip, I go for reload speed, because again, crit damage, when you're using ARs and LMGs, you're not stacking crit chance almost anywhere. So going for crit damage, for example, 20% on the grip, it's going to turn into like about 5% damage. That's just off the top of my head, because you're not going to have more than 20 to 30% crit chance at any given time. So going for crit damage is just not beneficial to you, but reload speed's great. And then on the mag, you're always going to be going for crit chance and rate of fire, because there's not really anything else that's better for you. And on the Bug On, you don't even have a grip, but the reload speed on it is really fast anyway, so you don't even need to worry about that. So that's it for the weapons. Hopefully you guys took a lot of that information, and I know the video is going on for long. I just want to give as much information as possible, because a lot of stuff has changed. So I'm really sorry for taking a long time, but I'm just trying to be diligent with this. Alright, moving on to the chest piece. There's a lot of different things you can go for. You always want to have health, okay? Health is the most important thing. But for the other major attribute, it's kind of flexible. I would prefer to go for skill haste to get my heal back faster, but this is a bear's chest that I had from before the patch, so I couldn't roll skill haste on it. But instead of that, I went for exotic damage zones, which is great. You can also go for health on kill, but I think 4 to 5% is very minuscule, and it's not worth running. So that's why I go for exotic damage resilience instead. Like, I had another piece with health on kill on it or something, and I could have rolled this one. But I decided to keep health and exotic damage resilience for when people spam nades and all that kind of stuff. So health is a must, because just stacking as much toughness as possible. It's pretty much the replacement to armor. And then for the other one, you can get skill haste or you can get exotic damage resilience. Now on the mask, try to get burn resistance. This is very important because this now works. It's kind of hard to describe, but basically resistance used to work. It's like if you had 50% resistance, you have a 50% chance of just not getting the status effect at all. But now you always get that status effect. It just gets decreased in the period that it lasts based on your resistance. So if you get a bunch of burn resistance, for example, on your mask, on your knee pads, and on your backpack, you have about 69%, I believe it is. I could be embellishing a little bit. I believe it's about 69% burn resistance, which will make it to where when you get on fire, it goes away almost instantly. So I definitely try to get burn resistance there. But then for the major attribute, I would say you can either go for 3 to 4% crit chance, which is a tiny amount of damage increase, but it is pretty nice. Or you can go for the extra skill power, which basically just makes it to where your heal is a little bit nicer. I'm probably going to switch to crit chance and see if I noticed any difference with my heal. But right now, skill power is running great for me. On the knee pads, pretty simple here. You want to try to get burn resistance, bleed resistance, and shock resistance. Those resistances will overall help you out. Saying resistance a lot. And then on the major attribute, you want to definitely make sure that you get health. Sorry about that. So yeah, you want to go for health on the knee pads. That's definitely best in slot because it's going to give you overall more than anything else would. And then on the backpack, again, going for health and then try to get the burn resistance there, which is extremely helpful. And then for the gloves, mine are a little bit messed up because this is all I had in the way that I could roll it. I primarily use the pecan now just because I like the way that it shoots and stuff, and I want to break from a lightweight M4. So I'm using the pecan for right now, and that's why it has assault rifle damage on it, and I just straight up couldn't roll that off. So if I could, I'd go for LMG damage, and crit chance. But if you're using 2 different weapon types, this isn't that bad of a thing to do. You're only missing like 5% crit chance, which it is a good amount of damage, but it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, that's why this is messed up. But best in slot would just be to get the weapon damage that you're using and then get crit damage and crit chance. And then for the holster, I'm going for reload speed. You can also go for skill haste here, or you can go for health, but I just like reload speed much more than that because getting my reload off really fast is just, it feels much better while you're playing, and I just prefer to have it like that. But you can go for skill haste or crit chance if you want. It's kind of up to you, but the reload speed is just kind of a personal preference type of thing, and it makes it a lot more fun for me to play. And then for your mods, you're going to be going for health on every single one of them. And then for the performance mods, you're going to be going for first aid self-heal, just so that your heal heals you for more, because you're really squishy now, so you want to make sure your heal is great. So overall, or for my skills, as you can see, I'm running the first aid overdose. Booster shot, the damage resistance was nerfed in half, and as you can see, the heal that it gives me is way less than it used to be. Or not used to be, but it's way less in comparison to the overdose, so that's why I go for the overdose. And then I also use an immunizer. I basically just throw this down when people are using shock turrets or something. And then if I notice people are shooting it, I just blow it up and I give myself a nice juicy overheal, which is great. And I usually, you'll see it in the gameplay, I usually just throw it down and then heal myself before I go into a fight and then get the 5% extra damage from Barrett's, and it works out great. And then in the end, or for talents here, I got Tactical Advance. I use this because I use Nimble a lot. But if you're not really accustomed to using Nimble and you want to use a different holster or something like that, then you can decide to switch this off. But I really like it because when I go to cover and somebody tries to damage trade me, I just melt them, because if I cover a decent amount, like even if it only lasts 5 seconds, if I'm doing a cover that's like 10 meters, I'm getting a crazy amount of damage. I'm just going to be able to shred that person, especially with the fact that I'm going to have really good headshot accuracy and just a really good build overall. So I'd shred the person anyway, so with Tactical Advance, they get shredded even more. And then I'm going to be running Critical Save. This works great with Refresh. So Refresh, you use your Make It at last health. It doesn't give you nearly as much as it used to, but it still gives you a decent amount. And then Critical Save helps mitigate that. And with Refresh, you get more of a heal. So Critical Save is great, like always. And then I use Combat Medic just to heal my teammates. But if you're more of a selfish player, you could definitely take off Combat Medic and switch it to something like One Is None, which will give you a lot more damage. By the way, just to touch on it, Adrenaline is not that great. The heal is too slow, and I feel like you need that immediate heal now because of how fast you take damage. It was okay while using it, but I definitely prefer to have Combat Medic. And then if you're on console, you can decide to use Steady Hands, but with a Pecan or an RPK or an MG5, you really don't need it, and at the G36 you don't need it either, or if you use an SMG. And then at the last talent, you use Precision. I do this basically because your crit chance and crit damage is really low, and Precision will just allow you to get that crit chance and crit damage that you need. It's about 7% crit chance and crit damage, which isn't that bad. It's a pretty high amount of damage increase, and all you gotta do is headshot the person, and then you can see them through walls and stuff, so it's really nice. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it for the build. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and learned something. I'm sorry the video is really long. There's just, again, a lot of information that I had to get out, but hopefully this helped. Again, if you're interested in me farming for you, feel free to email me at DisturbedGaming.com. But now I'm going to leave you with some gameplay. And then tomorrow I'm going to upload the gameplay of me getting 43 kills, which was insane. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Are you doing the melee glitch?
No, I don't think you can do that anymore.
You've been able to break through.
Dude.
Elite. I think Last Stand's definitely the best farm. If you can actually do well and win.
Yeah.
I've been getting a
so
lot
many
of
freaking caches.
I just want SMGs.
the
Why you
pecan.
keep shooting me, and this GJ mad guy hasn't gotten one kill, dude.
Is that too much to ask?
Do you see the reticle not moving while I'm shooting?
Dude, tell that train to shut up.
It's not mine.
It's doing its job.
Just run him over.
John, do you see this? I feel evil. It's definitely good.
Yeah.
I'll give you that much. I don't know. I don't like the third talent though. I don't see it doing anything ever. But
Doesn't matter.
yeah. I mean, the reason that it's good is because of the firearm scaling and the headshot multiplier on LMGs. I mean, you see how fast I'm killing people, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I got a brutal deadly. Self-preserved MG5.
There's okay. I need to run away. There's way too many. No thanks.
That's gonna be a good build or good LMG.
What's on it?
Brutal deadly, self-preserved. Bottom slot I can roll out.
Oh my God, Hydra, please stop. You're gonna make me lose faith in humanity. It's okay.
Let me get them stacks up. SMG or striker.
Please don't tell me you're gonna use it in PvP.
Yeah, with a
Hey,
striker.
there was this kid yesterday. You don't understand. There was this guy yesterday running the sausage in 1.5.
No.
Great
SASG
than
is really
everybody.
good, but self-preserved, I mean.
No, I said I'm gonna. It's bottom slot. I can roll it off. That's what I said.
Well, I thought you were saying because it has
bottom slot.
deadly.
No. I can
Alright,
roll
I was gonna
bottom
throw up.
slot.
Yeah. Sean, am I not a lord?
No, you suck.
I just survived like 1 million people and I'm still killing them.
You still suck. You know I'll never give you the gratification you want.
I
So I
know.
don't know why you asked me.
I mean, sometimes you do. I mean, look at this, man. I'm just killing their whole team.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean, oh yeah?
Striker build's gonna be good.
Thought you were taunting me. Thanks for the help, Dex. I appreciate it.
What do you need? 47. Oh no, I need like 20 more stamina. Jesus.
I'll double check my math on the pecan for you, Sean, because I was doing it on the RPK, not the pecan, and the pecan is way higher firearm scaling. And now I actually
Really?
have numbers in game to test it on, because before I was doing it.
You're gonna tell me and you don't even test stuff?
What are you talking about? I tested RPK.
But you didn't test the pecan. It's a different
I
gun.
literally just said that. It's the same gun. Pecan has higher firearms. They're the same gun. That's all it is. Pecan has better firearm scaling.
Pecan's better than the LVOA. Heard it here first, boys.
Alright, dude. What do you think our headshot chance is? Because when I was doing the thing, I was saying like 60% for console people. Because that's probably true on
No.
console. Yeah.
No, that's not true.
No.
When
have you
you're
seen console
ADSing.
plebs shoot?
Yes, when you're ADSing, you can
No.
easily do that. I
No.
played console.
No, you can. But the average ADS person?
What, you saying? You telling me they're
No.
going to get 40% headshots when they're aiming ADSing at people that are standing still?
Less.
That's impossible.
100%.
No.
That's all they're gonna get.
There's no way.
Bro, have you seen Jacob shoot?
Yeah, hip firing, you're not going to get any headshots. I know that. But people that are standing still, your aim assist auto locks onto their head. They're not just going to be ADSing at the body like tards.
I'll
that's
reiterate.
ridiculous.
Have you seen Jacob shoot?
Yes, I've seen Jacob shoot.
I got a sausage. It's all over.
You,
I mean, it has
Sean,
deadly on it, which sucks.
Sean,
but,
just watch, man. Just watch. Just look at what I'm doing to these people we're playing against. MDC, I'm
Yeah, you
hitting
know why?
40k this game. You ready? Look at my score
they're
right now,
on.
man. What the fuck? No, my aim is insane right now. Just headshot god. On standing still targets, I know. Please. Please.
Someday I hope
I'm
one
out
of
of
these
I'm
gets-
out of needs. Oh god. My streak is really high right now. You ready to
Better
help me
start.
out there, MDC?
Dad, you should probably start running a cool-headed pistol again.
What'd you say? What you got?
I said you ready to help me out here?
Like it.
Yeah, because the harmful doesn't work. Or it
Fuck,
works, but
yeah,
isn't
I
good.
just ain't saying nothing.
Alright, I mean for the 40k game, you ready to help me?
Oh, for sure.
We doing it, dude. We're doing it right now.
Right here, man.
Right here, right now. Oh my god, I'm getting melted. I have ult. I'm not gonna use it yet though. Assist! Fuck. Getting in that heal.
Let's go, let's go. On the right.
Got him.
Right behind car, right?
Fuck, I'm out of needs and shit. Got the guy to the right. Got the guy to the left. I'm healing. They tackled it.
Top crit.
How did I not get that kill? I'm getting salty. I'm not getting kills that I should be getting. No, I'm about to die. I'm about to die. I'm about to die. No way! How? Res me, dude. Look at my score right now. There's no way I don't get 40k. There's a guy coming to the left. I'm so mad that I died right there. I'm out of med kits. That's my problem. Dude, my heal won't go down. My immune won't go down. I pressed it like 5 times. It's alright. It's alright. I'm coming back, dude.
Alright, you ready?
Yeah. Good.
This guy.
Move it back, boys.
Sean, does this sound accurate? This guy in my chat said, quote unquote, "You idiots disturb gaming when confronted with normal humans." Pretty
Yeah.
accurate, right?
I would say with any humans. But yeah.
Alright, MDC.
They
You think
could
we can
have
get
a 170
45k?
IQ and
Where you at? Where you at?
I'm
you
coming.
have a
Where I don't
170
know where
IQ
you're at. I'm
and
coming to
you're
B.
an idiot.
I see a
I
bunch
was
of people
saving
over
you
there.
and killing, then you fucking...
Oh,
Alright,
no,
well.
I'm far away. There's 3 guys over here.
Of course.
I'm killing all
I'll be
3 of
back
these
later,
guys. Alright. Peace.
I had this guy shredded, just waiting.
I'm sorry.
I'm coming
I
to you, though.
spawned over here.
Retreating.
No, my med kit! This guy ulted and I didn't even get it! I used a med kit and he ulted and I got nothing. How does that happen? Don't tell me this. It's gonna take away my delicious game from me. I have to get 40k. There's no way that I don't get it. Were you there, MDC? Did you see what just happened to me?
Nah,
Look,
I was
I'm right
still
here, I'm right
where
here.
you died at.
That guy, I used a med kit and the guy res ulted at the same time, and it gave me nothing. I got this guy on the right. Thanks for the follow, dude. I'm wasting a nade, I don't really care. Just want as many kills as possible right now, let's go.
One behind us.
Got him. I don't know if someone took it or not.
You got it. Almost dead.
I'm trying to get garlic salt. I'm gonna throw a nade on him.
He's almost dead. I hit him once, he's gonna die. Oh, there he is.
Oh my. I'm getting kills so fast the game can't keep up. Thanks for the heal.
Alright, We already cracked 40, dude. It's 42 now.
Holy shit, let's keep going, man. 50. Can we do it?
One on the left, one on left behind cover.
Fuck. I'm gonna get melted if I push.
One on right.
I need to move back and switch nades. Hold up.
Yep. One on me.
I'm throwing in on them. Damn it! How did I not get that kill? Oh my god! Oh my god! I didn't use a first aid. Alright, we need to get that flame turret. It's gonna do so much damage, you know.
Down.
Thank you.
One on left. He shredded.
Killed him. I'm really low. I'm switching to shock nade.
Get the one mid. He's one shot. Yep.
I think my flame nade killed him, or maybe that was a score for the other kill. I can get this guy.
Yo, yeah, he's fucking.
This is the last. Oh fuck. 49. Oh.
GG's, dude.
Thank you so much for the help.
GG's.
38 kills.